Ethan Reed had exactly $12 in his wallet when he stepped out of the grocery store that chilly evening, $12 to last him and his 8-year-old son, Noah, until payday. And yet, when he heard the soft, frightened whimper coming from the parking lot, he didn't hesitate for a second. A little girl, no older than 5, stood alone beside a lamppost, hugging a stuffed rabbit so tightly it looked like she was afraid it would vanish too. "Hey there," Ethan said gently, crouching down. "Are you lost?" The girl sniffled and nodded. "I can't find Mommy." Ethan glanced around. The parking lot was nearly empty. No frantic parent in sight. No one even looking. He held out his hand. "I'm Ethan. You're safe. What's your name?" "Lila," she whispered. Noah stepped closer and handed her his own jacket. "You can use mine until we find your mom." And just like that, Lila's trembling stopped. A simple act turns into something bigger. Ethan called the police, but they were overwhelmed with New Year's Eve emergencies. "Someone will be there as soon as possible," the dispatcher said, but hours were passing. So Ethan did what felt right, he brought Lila home. He made her a grilled cheese sandwich, let her pick a cartoon, and watched as she slowly stopped shaking and began smiling again. Noah shared his pillow fort. Lila giggled. For a moment, the house didn't feel heavy with bills and struggle. It felt full. Around 10 p.m. There was still no update from the police. "Daddy?" Noah whispered. "Are we gonna take care of her till her mom comes?" Ethan nodded. "As long as she needs us." He didn't know that someone, somewhere, needed him just as much. The knock on the door. At midnight, there came a sharp, urgent knock. When Ethan opened the door, he froze. Standing there, drenched from the cold rain, was a woman he recognized immediately, from magazines, charity events, and headlines. Vivian Hale. Billionaire tech entrepreneur. One of the richest women in the country. And she looked nothing like the composed powerhouse he'd seen on screens. Her hair was soaked, her eyes swollen from crying, and her voice cracked as she spoke. "Is my daughter here?" she whispered. Ethan nodded and stepped aside. The moment Vivian saw Lila asleep on the couch, wrapped in Noah's blanket, she broke down in sobs of pure relief. Ethan stood quietly. He understood that kind of love, the kind that turns your world upside down when your child is in danger. An unexpected realization. Once Lila was safely in her mother's arms, Vivian looked around Ethan's small living room, the second-hand couch, the flickering lamp, the stack of bills tucked under a coffee mug he'd tried to hide. "You took care of her," she said softly. "You didn't even know her, and you stepped in." Ethan shrugged. Any dad would have done the same. "No," she said, shaking her head. "Trust me. Not everyone would." There was a pause, one of those pauses where two worlds that never cross, suddenly touch. "Please," she continued, "tell me how I can thank you." "You don't need to," Ethan replied. He meant it. He wasn't looking for reward. Just doing what was right. But Vivian studied him for a long moment. Then she noticed Noah's patched jacket, the empty fridge behind the cracked kitchen door, the quiet resilience in Ethan's tired eyes. And something shifted. Hours later, she returned again. The next morning, just as Ethan finished packing Noah's lunch with the last slices of bread, another knock echoed through the apartment. He opened the door to find Vivian once more, but this time, she wasn't alone. Beside her stood a man in a suit holding documents, and a car behind her carried boxes. "I know this is unexpected," she began, "but I don't want to just say thank you. I want to honor what you did." Ethan frowned, confused. She handed him a folder. "A job. At my company. Flexible hours. Full benefits. You helped my daughter, let me help yours." Ethan stared at her, speechless. And one more thing, S.H. added with a warm, almost shy smile. You said any dad would have done what you did. But you were the one who actually did it. You brought my daughter home safe. I won't forget that. Noah ran up beside Ethan. Dad? What's happening? Ethan swallowed hard, emotion rising in his chest. Something good, buddy. Something really good. Vivian knelt down and ruffled Noah's hair. Your dad is a hero. A new beginning. Weeks later, Ethan started his new job. Steady pay, dignity restored, a future that didn't feel like a fight. Noah joined a better school. Their home finally had warmth, not just from the heater, but from hope. And every Friday, Vivian brought Lila over for playdates. What began as gratitude slowly grew into friendship, two single parents finding a strange, unexpected connection through fear, kindness, and fate. Sometimes, life changes in small moments. Sometimes, it begins with a lost little girl in a parking lot. And sometimes, the simple act of doing what's right, leads life to open doors you never even knew existed. Final message. In a world full of chaos, kindness still matters. One good choice, one compassionate act, can change the course of someone's life, sometimes even your own. And that's exactly what Ethan discovered the night he chose to help a frightened little girl instead of walking away.